I start every single leg day off with glute activation exercises. Now, these exercises are amazing if you have stubborn glutes. If you have a hard time feeling your glutes throughout your leg workouts, I definitely suggest starting off with some of these isolation movements. So I'm tossing on a band. These are my favorite because they're basically a carbon copy of the rubber elastic resistance bands, except these are made from a much thicker material. They don't break, they're not going to roll on you or slide down. So I have an entire video dedicated on glute activation exercises if you have more questions, but there's really no right or wrong way. I just pick a few of my favorite exercises, toss a band onto it, and then do this until my glutes are turned on. They're ready to go. They're fired up. They're ready for this leg day. So I did about 5 minutes of an incline, walking, slow, steady state, nothing crazy. Coming in here, doing glute activation to help turn on my glutes, get them pumped, get them going. Okay, let's jump into the dumbbell portion of this workout. Starting this workout off with a dumbbell squat. So my feet are past shoulder width apart, toes and knees pointing out, hinging at the hips, keeping your back nice and flat. I like to stop just short of a full rep so that I'm keeping all tension in my glutes and my hamstrings. This stance right here takes a lot of pressure off of your knees, so if you have weak knees, definitely try a sumo position like I'm doing here. Now, after you finish your squats, you are going to move into small baby pulses by the time you finish this set. Okay, 3 of them, you're gonna be crying, girl. So here are the pulses here. Slow, controlled, small movements. This is also an exercise. I know you can lift heavier than you think you can because you're not pulling the weight up. It's just hanging in front of you. So challenge yourself here, girl. All right, you guys, we are now moving into a hamstring superset. So we're doing 2 exercises. Focus on the hamstring. We're gonna do them back to back, and then we will rest about 1.5 to 2 minutes in between each set. My hamstrings are crying. Let's get it. This first exercise is something I would compare to a cable pull through, but instead of using a cable machine, we are using a dumbbell. Hinging at the hips, keeping your back nice and flat. I have that same wide sumo position, slight bend in my knees. I'm bringing the dumbbell back behind me. You'll get an amazing stretch in your hamstrings, pressing your hips forward, squeezing your glutes at the top. This is another movement that I love to stop just short of a full range rep to keep the tension flowing through the entire exercise. That is a really good stretching hamstring exercise. This one right here, you're gonna feel a nice pinch at the top of the movement in your hamstrings. So putting my heels up on a dumbbell, digging my heels into the dumbbell, pressing up, squeezing nice and tight at the top, your hamstrings, girlfriend, ooh. So as you can see, this was a superset, so I moved from each exercise without breaking in between. After this exercise, I can rest. Hip thrusts have become a must-do, #1 top leg exercise. It's gonna absolutely demolish your glutes. Now, when you're using a barbell, of course, you can use quite a bit more weight. In a dumbbell situation, it's not gonna be as heavy, so I'm going to up the intensity by adding a hip circle. Girl, really connecting the mind to the muscle, doing a little bit of a slower movement, pausing at the top. I'm gonna pause, go back down to really emphasize a lot of pressure in my glutes. Hip thrusts are a staple to my leg day. I will do some sort of variation of a hip thrust every single leg day. So this is a dumbbell hip thrust. I did add a hip circle here to up the intensity. Knees and ankles shoulder width apart, tucking my chin, tucking my ribs, and looking down. Pressing through my heels, squeezing nice and tight at the top. I like to pause there for just a second and then head straight back down. After you finish this variation, I'm going to move into a B stance. A B stance gives you the benefit of a single leg hip thrust with the stability of 2 legs. So 70% of the pressure is going to be in the foot that is flat on the floor. The other leg is mostly there for stability, but you will definitely feel it working there as well. This is a body weight exercise as well. If it's a bit too easy, don't worry, add a dumbbell like I did in the first exercise. But this is a superset, so it might be a little too much to have that dumbbell on your hips for the entire superset, so just get in there and see how you feel. Moving into our next superset, this is our second to last superset, so we're almost there. This is a Bulgarian split squat, placing my back leg on the bench. Focus on your hip, knee, and ankle alignment. I don't want your knee wobbling from side to side. Chest up, lunging down, on the way up, pressing through your heel. This is another exercise that you'll see you don't want to lock your knee out at the top, so stopping just short of a full range rep. You'll get a really good glute stretch at the end of this exercise. It's actually easier to tuck your toes underneath on your back foot on the bench, so I'm just not really sure why I put my foot through this pain.
We're going to be doing some seated calf raises next, moving that focus back to the calves again. And this time, again, you want to use some wedge blocks if you've got them, but if not, well, go ahead and use whatever you've got, or just do it on the bare floor. I've also linked the wedge blocks down below, so make sure you guys are using those if you're looking to pick up a set of them. For this one, you can use a single dumbbell, just go for a heavy one, or you can set them up the way I've got them. Coming up next, we've got some goblet squats with your toes pointed out. So this one is great for hitting the outer parts of your quads, build some strength and some size there. We're going to be doing 3 sets by 10 repetitions, and I'm going to be starting with a 70-pound dumbbell. So it's a single dumbbell exercise. With this one, you want to make sure that you keep your back straight throughout. So as you lower it, keep that back straight. You also want to make sure that you keep the dumbbell close to your body throughout, as well as lower the dumbbell until your butt is just below your knee level to really put that pressure on your legs. Also, make sure that you find whatever you can to elevate your heels. I've got some squat wedges right there, which I picked up off Amazon, but you can use whatever you've got, a plate, a plank, whatever you've got, just to get that elevation right there, or just do it without the elevation if you don't have anything. Fumble it back. right, so next up, we've got some calf work. So standing calf raises, 3 sets by 15 repetitions. This one, the biggest challenge with it is maintaining your balance. So what you want to do is work with lower weight loads to make sure that, you know, you're able to really get that squeeze at the top. So you need to hold the dumbbells up there for about 1 to 2 seconds to really get your calves to work. And unlike the last exercise, you want to elevate your toes this time with whatever that you used, you know, for that exercise. And make sure to keep your back straight as best as you can, you know, and just lift with your calves. Do not lift with your arms. Just use your arms as like hooks, you know, for the dumbbells, and then just lift with your toes and your calves.
said, baby, I'm done. I'm so sick and tired of the way you just run. Say it takes two when you build that trust. I feel alone in the so-called love. I said, shawty, I'm done driving down this one-way road. Even with you, I'm alone, trying to find my way back.
All right, that's it for the calf burn. Next up here, we've got some single dumbbell sumo squats, 3 sets by 10 repetitions for this one right here. And this one is great for targeting all your inner leg muscles. So think your adductors, the teardrop part of your quads, you know, your glutes, your hamstrings. It's a really good workout. Just make sure that you're keeping your back straight as you lower the dumbbell, and also lower until your butt is just below your knee level. This concept applies to pretty much every workout that's similar to this, that has you going from top to bottom right there. Just always try to go below your knee level.
I go Saudi, I'm leaving, like it's fall in New England. Always feels like the seasons, just to please you. Now I'm over the pressure, feeling under the weather, but I won't second guess it when I leave you. I don't Saudi the reasons, girl, I swear that you evil. Let's see other people, we don't need us a sequel. Cause I got options all around and will take my love. Bodies on I've been on a mission to give it and get back. You've been always missing and grilling about my past. So I had to get gone from you and get you so far from the view. And I see it crystal clear, but it's only cause you wasn't here. You wasn't here. I said, baby, I'm done. I'm so sick and tired of the way you just run. Say it takes two when you build that trust. I feel alone in the so-called love. Yeah, I'm so done. Yeah, I'm so done.
Okay, so to wrap things up, we've got some lying hamstring curls. 3 sets of 12 repetitions for this one right here. And this one is great for, you know, really finishing up your hamstrings, your glutes, and pretty much every muscles in that area. With this one, you want to make sure that you're completing it slowly. You don't want to rush through it to really get that burn right there. And I'm working with a 30-pound dumbbell to start, but I will be increasing the weight load as we progress through it. So make sure to also prevent the dumbbell from touching the ground every time you lower it to the best of your ability. It might touch it sometimes, but, you know, try not to, let it touch the ground to keep that tension in your hamstrings and your glutes throughout.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Fast track now, they won't lend a hand. Now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go. Here we go, on the road, here we go.
Let's cover the Superman exercise. Start by laying flat on your stomach. Arms are extended straight out in front of you. And you're going to raise both your arms and your legs up off the ground. Hold that for just a second or two and then come back down to the starting position. and then repeat that same movement. This is going to be great for strengthening your lower back, your upper back, as well as your glutes. That's how to properly perform the Superman exercise.